I really don't like romance novels. So what did I do? Well, I wrote with myself about some horny girl falling in love with her hot angel boyfriend. I didn't want people to think this was me, so I made up the pen name Melinda de la Cruz. Her real name is Moutarde, which sounds fancy, but it's actually French for mustard. As you can tell already, I wasn't seriously writing this thing, and I wrote it to be as stupid as possible. But I felt like I could do better with that. I wanted a bunch of teenage girls to find this book and be sexually attracted over it, and get really horny, because these books are incredibly horny. So I wrote another one, and another one. And then a novelette, and now another novelette. This time I made it absolutely unreadable. They haven't had much success with these books. I'm going to try to change that though, so the world knows of the art of Melinda de la Cruz. So that's right, I bought a freaking billboard. I'm just kidding. I'm too broke for that. I spent all my money on sending expired Space Jam 2 cereal to North Dakota. But I did make a website to make Melinda look more legit. As you can see, everything is censored, and if you want the uncensored version, go to my OnlyFans.
Cooked here.
The title of this one is Wood of Wonder, and this is the cover. And the way it draws readers in is with this amazing back cover. Is that a squirrel, Freddy? No, that's my dick. In this all-new adventure by Melinda de la Cruz, two fresh lovers go on a sexcation, the sheltered cove, in order to rekindle their fearfully fleeing love. This novelette takes place after Election Day, which completely ruins the timeline of the previous books, but that's the best part. And also, they live on Vancouver Island, so it doesn't even make any sense for them to be voting in an American election. Nonetheless, somehow, Frederick votes for Trump. Tabitha is distraught over this, so they decide that the only way to rekindle their love is to go on another sexcation, which is a vacation without the kids, who are named Stevea Cottonwood and Neven Butterfly. If you haven't watched the previous videos, those god-awful names have absolutely no context, and I'm going to keep it that way because it doesn't even make any sense with the context, to be honest. Anyway, they decide the most romantic place to sexcation is in Shelter Cove, which is a small town in California we went to recently that no one really seems to know about. We rented a house there, and there was also a sauna, which I went in with my son that I was genetically impregnated with by God, my sock pupper, Arnold Hagee. Anyway, Frederick and Tabitha decide to rent this house. In order to get to Shelter Cove, they use a magical angel motorcycle that flies up through heaven, and they immediately get horny and start making out with the clouds. Mid-sex, they see the ghost of Jesus fading in front of them for some reason, and it's never mentioned again, because I have to find a way to suddenly offend minorities in everything I do. It's called Dark Humor Liberal. Then after this, they land in the forest and have even more sex, because that's the only thing they know to do apparently. Then they fly to the house completely naked, and to meet Fabio, which is a backstory I'll have to explain. Basically, Fabio is an Italian model famous for being on the cover of romance novels and being really hot. For whatever reason, he's also been in a lot of I Can't Believe It's Not Butter commercials.
I can't believe it's not butter. Can't believe it's not butter.
Can't believe it's not butter.
He was also in The Exorcist 3 for like 3 seconds. Randomly, I got an ad notifying me that Fabio and National Treasure Show London were hosting a meet and greet at the grand opening of Aegis Living in. Yes, that Fabio. Get your selfies ready. And my first thought was, what if I got him to sign the inside of Orchards of Seduction, and then scan and forge his autograph to make it look like he's a massive fan of my romance novels. But then, my mom had to do laundry, and I don't have a driver's license because who the hell would trust me on the road, so I didn't get to put my plan into action. So to make up for it, I put Fabio and Joan London in the book as angels hosting this rental home, and I wrote this scene. We delightfully walked toward the front door of the house. I can't wait to see how it looks in the light. Fabio chuckled seeing us come over. They look shocked. Did you two come here from Pound Town? His sexy Italian accent creates ripples of joy in the cold, dark night that puckers up our nipples. Frederick and I realize we're both still naked. But Fabio understands. No, Frederick says in a sexual manner. Last I heard, I'm pretty sure this is Pound Town. Fabio moans a little, licking his lips. Come on in, you two little lovebirds. Frederick wrapped his arm around me to give my shivering body warmth, as we headed inside what's about to become a very own giant sex chamber. I don't understand how I'm getting myself to say these things. The next day, Frederick is about to make some pancakes for Tabitha, but as we know, they literally can't do anything without getting horny. Before they even start making the pancakes, they also start pouring syrup on themselves. It's a massive newfound kink for them, and they make sure to absolutely coat themselves in it. And they find it seductive and they don't wash it off. After this, they find a fox. Because there really were foxes at the rental house that were all fat clearly because they're fed a lot by the guests. Conveniently, Frederick just happens to be carrying around a giant hunk of meat, and not just one Tabitha wants to suck on. They start rubbing the elements of nature on themselves and go to the beach, where Tabitha emotionally learns that Frederick is circumcised. I wonder why YouTube decided to take away my monetization. This reminds me of the fact that Instagram keeps showing me videos about a guy who talks about how much he hates circumcision and nothing else.
Son's first memory is being restrained and having a stranger take a scalpel to his genitals. Is that how you want to start your relationship with your newborn son? You wouldn't cut your baby's fingers off to prevent dirt from getting under their fingernails. Penis isn't supposed to look like that. Circumcision trauma isn't limited to just the physical scarring. Circumcised and I turned out fine. Are you sure? Being fine isn't the same as being whole. Took a part of your D without even asking you. Circumcise your dog. Why can you circumcise your child? Your skin is not a mistake, it's a masterpiece.
They go back to the house to clean up their syrupy mess and turn Tabitha on. And to turn Tabitha on, Frederick wears a maid's dress, and he of course isn't wearing underwear. And no joke, I think this chapter is quite possibly the worst thing that I've ever written. Fast forward to the end of that mess, and the one and only Jacob K. Werewolf himself is at the door. What does the K in your name stand for? Jacob sighs in a sexual manner. Canine. Linda Montaro de la Cruz was born on November 12, 1976 in Spain. She now lives in a small fishing village in Bakersfield, where she's often found passed out from love. She loves her cat and dog, and her favorite hobby is going to church and writing seductive stories in a rose garden, with the help of her loving Madre, Consuela, who survived terminal anal cancer. With the help of her Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, back in 2004. Then I also made a website from Linda de la Cruz, which I mentioned at the beginning, where it advertises all of her books as Nobel Prize winning, how she's friends with Stephen King, and how she has canonically been knighted. There's also a detailed dramatic story about her going on a ferocious boat journey to a small fishing village in Bakersfield, and I recommend you read the whole thing because it's peak literature. I was going to post QR codes everywhere with posters and stuff, and try and buy some ads to get people to go on this website and be confused, but I'm broke, and this video is taking a bit too long, even though I made a whole Google account for this stuff and everything.